Today, we're going to look at a hot topic of debate in the realm of language learning, and that is when you're having a conversation in English, should you stop translating in your head from your own language to English? Well, the short answer is no, because if you don't translate in your head, where else are you going to do it? In your feet, in your hands, in your ass? Okay. I guess I'm being a little bit flippant here, but I know that a lot of you out there get frustrated when you're having a conversation in English because before you say the sentence in English, you think of it in your language and then translate. And of course, by the time you've got the right words out, it's too late and the conversation has moved on to another topic while you're sitting there like a lemon waiting for the English sentence to get to your lips. But is there anything you can do about it? Now, instead of me telling you stop translating in your head, don't do it, guys, let's have a look at what the science says, what psychologists believe based on research of the human mind and how it works. Then we're going to look at what you can do to use this science to speak more fluently and learn English more quickly. To find out more, stay tuned. Hello and welcome to Let Them Talk. So, can you stop translating in your head when you're having a conversation? Let's have a look at a scientific explanation. Now, psychologists tell us that there are two types of memory in your brain. There's System 1 memory and your System 2 memory. Let me explain. Let me ask you a question. Can you drive a car? When you first got into a car, I bet it was difficult. I bet it seemed impossibly complicated. You turn the steering wheel and at the same time you indicate, check for drivers in the other lanes, change gears. Now, when you need all your concentration to tackle a task, that's your System 1 memory, okay? But now you've been driving for a few years. It's bloody easy, isn't it? You could do it in your sleep. No, frankly, I don't recommend that. Over time, it has become automatic. Not the car, your memory, I mean. You no longer need to concentrate on the mechanics of driving. The ability to do a complex task without thinking about each individual step is your System 2 memory. Now, if you leave your country and hire a car in a country where they drive on the other side of the road, for example, I'm from the UK, and they drive on the left there, but if I drive in France, they drive on the right. So for the first few hours, I will need to engage once more my System 1 memory until it reverts to System 2 and it becomes automatic again. If you learn to type, in the beginning you look at each key and it's slow, and now clack, you don't even need to look at the keyboard anymore. So fast that steam comes out of your computer. That's System 2. When you're learning a musical instrument, you move from one note to another slowly and methodically. You still make mistakes. That's System 1. And now you play with your eyes closed. That's System 2. When you're learning new software, learning how to skate, no, it's System 1. You learn it, becomes automatic. You're on System 2. Okay? I'm sure you can think of hundreds of examples of this. So why do you think it's any different when learning a language? It isn't. It's exactly the same. Okay, now I want to show you something. We're going to cut open a human brain and see what's going on inside. Okay, I don't actually have a human brain. I've don't have any permission for that, and anyway I just get blood all over the carpet. Would be a terrible mess. So we're going to use a cabbage, okay? We're going to cut open the cabbage and let me show you what we find. Okay, you ready for this? We find, no, cabbage leaves actually. No, let's look a bit closer. Here we are, the inside of your brain. Okay, let's get a little bit closer. Now you see these black pins. Are they pins? Yeah, let's call them pins. That represents language in your system 2 memory, language that you can recall instantly. Most of the time, your native language. Though sometimes even in your native language, you can struggle to remember a complex word or phrase. Likewise, foreign words can be in your system 2 memory. Okay, now I don't speak Chinese, but I know that ni hao means hello. I don't need to translate that every time I want to say hello in Chinese. Same with konnichiwa and jumbo, kapkum krap. Okay, I'm not translating. I don't speak those languages. Now you see the white drawing pins. Now when you learn a new word or phrase, it goes into your system 1 memory over here, okay? And every time that you use that word, you have to go from system 2, search for it in system 1, and then bring it back and use it in conversation. It takes time. But, big but, every time you use that word, it moves a little bit down along your brain, okay, towards system 2. So the white becomes red before becoming black, okay? So it's on its way from system 1 to system 2. Here we are. So moving, all right, learn that new word. Oh, it's become red now. Become red, become black. And yeah. So imagine you learn a new word, flummoxed. Flummoxed. Do you know what that means? It means confused or bewildered. You check the dictionary, you learn that in your language, say Spanish, that the closest translation is desconcertado. Okay? Now, the first time you use it in conversation, it's difficult. The British Parliament seems to be completely flummoxed. Too late. They're talking about something else. Now they're talking about climate change, how to make carrot cake, whatever. It's too late. Okay, it took a few seconds to get from there to there. But carry on using flummoxed, moves from a system 1, flummoxed, into your system 2 memory, flummoxed, and you're using it all the time. When the computer stopped working and I couldn't use my PowerPoint presentation, I was completely flummoxed. I didn't know what to say. There you are. Now I've got it, I think. I've got it, flummoxed. So the $1 million question is, how many times do you need to use a word before it goes into your system 2 memory? The answer is 7. 7. The magic number seems to be 7. If you use a word or phrase 7 times, then it will go into your system 2 memory. Roughly speaking, of course, it differs from situation to situation and from person to person, although psychologists tell us that this is a fairly consistent figure. So how does this help us? Simply put, when you're learning new vocabulary, you should use it as much as possible. Use it in conversation, write it down in your emails, your correspondence. Can you talk to yourself and use it that way? Yes, absolutely you can. It doesn't matter. Just embrace new vocabulary, new phrases. Use them all the time and they will pass from your System 1 memory to your System 2 memory in approximately 7 times. Okay, so go out and use this method and you will no longer be flummoxed by the English language. Don't tell yourself or let teachers or anybody else tell you that it's a problem translating in your head. No, this is natural, it's normal. Just take your time and you will move your English from System 1 to System 2 memory. It's a slow process, but if you're constantly learning, constantly practicing, you will get better, you will get fluent in English. Cabbage leaves. Top of the head. Cabbage leaves. Cabbage leaves. That's the brain. Just imagine it's a brain. That's a brain. That's your brain. Okay? It's not a cabbage. Use your imagination. It's a brain.